Welcome and thank you for watching UT Today. I'm Justin Crawford.
And I'm Beverly Banks. Coming up, students react to Governor Haslam's proposed gas tax and how it could help some but make driving harder for commuters.
Also, UT has a brand new athletic director. We have the rundown on the man who will be running the show here at UT.
Governor Haslam proposes a 7-cent increase in the gasoline tax in his State of the State address. The tax revenue pays for anticipated road and infrastructure projects across the state. I spoke with Tennessee residents about how the legislation impacts their wallets. Governor Haslam's Improve Act raises fuel taxes to pay for Tennessee roads. University of Tennessee student Jared Nelson says a tax increase may benefit college students.
We don't tend to commute too far. We tend to live pretty close to campus, so it might end up actually being kind of a fiscal positive for us.
West Tennessee student Cody Sane says the tax may help repair the roads.
So in the long run, I feel like wearing my vehicle out faster is going to have a larger economic impact on me than raising the gas tax slightly.
Economics professor Matthew Murray says students and faculty share a lesser burden than rural community members.
The burden would come for low-income households, and in particular low-income households that reside in rural parts of the state, where driving large numbers of miles is just something that those people have to do.
Murray says Tennessee surplus funds are not a long-term solution to pay for better roads.
The reality is, while there is a surplus, the state also needs to pile money into the rainy day fund. There are other uses for those funds, and it is not a long-term source of revenue to fund the roads.
Tennessee drivers pay 21.4 cents in taxes per gallon of fuel. Residents remain divided on Governor Haslam's proposal to increase the price you pay at the pump. Student Greg Butcher speaks to Tennessee residents about the negative impacts of a gas tax.
Our state has a budget surplus, and a pretty substantial budget surplus, a lot of it recurring, a part of it's one-time money, but I think most voters and most Tennesseans would agree that if we have a budget surplus, if you're taking too much of my taxes, there is absolutely no reason to justify raising taxes.
Out-of-state student Maya McCullough says the gas tax may alter her travel home.
It does make, it's kind of like a burden that, I normally can fill up my tank, maybe $25, $30 max with premium gas. So having that gas tax, I wouldn't say it would inhibit me from going home, but it does, kind of like set me back just a little bit.
The Improve Act collects funds for 962 future road and infrastructure projects in all 95 counties. The proposal raises the current tax to 28.4 cents per gallon of gas. The Improve Act plans for a 2030 completion date for the tax-funded road and infrastructure projects.
Have you ever wondered what really goes into the First Amendment?
UT Today reporter Cameron Rowlett tackles a two-part look into some of the most important parts of the amendment. Cameron?
Yeah, that's right, guys. University of Tennessee held a First Amendment panel discussing freedom of speech, and students and faculty were able to open up and discuss what it really means to them. I was able to talk with some of the panelists about free speech in today's society and why it's causing so much controversy.
Expressing facts or opinions, protesting, and even using social media to make posts. These are just some of the ways you can exercise your First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. But with so many protests turned violent and media bashing going on today, when is the First Amendment being crossed? Dr. Michael Martinez, a journalism professor at the University of Tennessee, believes that free speech has become cautionary for many people because of the consequences it can have in today's society.
I'm a big proponent of free speech. I think right now we're in a bit of a climate where people are very careful and afraid of what they're going to say, what topics they're going to address, and things like that.
Brittany Moore, president of the Black Law Student Association, believes that we all play a part in better utilizing our freedoms.
As students of higher education, we need to learn and know that everybody has something to bring to the table. I don't know everything, you don't know everything. However, two people, once they come together and actually talk and have an intellectual conversation, things can be improved.
Places like the Howard Baker Center for Public Policy is one of the few places that many students and faculty can go to express their opinions and freedoms peacefully.
And for Dr. Martinez, free speech has many values that we all can learn from.
One of the values of free speech is the more ideas that come to the surface, the truth will come out, or the the strongest will survive, if you will. It's marketplace of ideas concept.
The Freedom of Speech panelists were able to keep the discussion peaceful and encourage open-mindedness. Back to you, Justin and Beverly.
Thank you, Cameron, and stay tuned next week for when Cameron addresses yet another controversial part of the First Amendment, freedom of the press.
Knoxville is home to some refugee groups and Islamic communities, but President Trump's recent executive orders have made immigrating to the U.S. more challenging. Meredith Maroney tells us how the ban affects some UT students.
There are many Muslim students on UT's campus and in the Knoxville community. Janine Omari is a junior at UT and member of the Muslim Student Alliance.
You'd be surprised how many people have reached out to our mosque and our community saying we support you. If you guys need anything, we'll help protect you.
Musab Ibrahim is also a member of the Muslim Student Alliance.
It's like World Hijab Day, and we do something also called MSA Showdown and Fastathon and a bunch of other things in between that try to get us on the map and have people really take the time to know us for who we are.
Ibrahim is from Sudan and has lived there as well as in Tennessee during various times throughout his life. Sudan is one of the countries banned by President Trump. Muhammad Ali is also Sudanese and affected by the ban.
My sister is actually getting married in July, and my mom really wants some of her siblings to come over and visit. Now that's no longer possible, and my mom's devastated because of that.
While the road ahead looks tough for refugees and immigrants from majority Muslim countries, there are groups in Knoxville that offer them help and support.
Dr. Deanne Pendry, a senior lecturer of anthropology at UT, is an advocate for immigrants in Knoxville.
So here in Knoxville, we have on the one hand the Comité Popular de Knoxville and some other immigrant-led groups, and then you have the Allies of Knoxville immigrant neighbors.
Ibrahim wants Muslims to stand up to President Trump.
If we really want to, make a difference and try to make, this community stronger in an administration like this, I think it's time to really come together as a community.
Ali hopes Americans and non-Americans can understand they are more similar than different.
Just because we're Muslims doesn't mean we're that different from everybody else. And I think it's important that once you see people as humans, then you can acknowledge who they are and learn to appreciate them.
For UT Today, this is Meredith Maroney.
President Trump's new executive order now excludes Iraq from the ban and also allows people with valid visas and green cards to enter the United States.
Coming up, many students try to eat healthy, but some say dining options on campus make it difficult to do so.
And how one UT student is using social media to make the big bucks. Stay with us.
Planning for greater wealth, concerned about monies for retirement, wanting to prepare funds for loved ones in the future? Call Paradigm Wealth Partners today, 251-0808, ParadigmWealthPartners.com.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top.
Down Tennessee Hills.
Home sweet home to me.
Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Planning for greater wealth, concerned about monies for retirement, wanting to prepare funds for loved ones in the future? Call Paradigm Wealth Partners today, 251-0808, ParadigmWealthPartners.com.
Welcome back. Now, while many people are working conventional occupations nowadays during and after college, some prefer to develop their own businesses.
Faith Howard shows us how one student is using YouTube to become a young entrepreneur.
Is a senior at the University of Tennessee, and she's an entrepreneur. She made her YouTube channel 1 year ago and has now gained over 85,000 subscribers and over 6 million views by simply recording her everyday life.
It started with basically vlogging, I guess, my college experience, and it's went into other directions like doing clothing hauls or just whatever, just vlogging my daily life.
With a camera, laptop, and one click of a button from people all over the world, many YouTubers are becoming their own boss. Amber appreciates YouTube for giving her an opportunity she had never considered before.
I definitely feel like YouTube is a platform that allows everyone to be an entrepreneur, specifically because you get to brand yourself. You're not working under anybody. You're the only one accounting for the work that you're doing. You work on your own time, which I definitely appreciate.
While this may sound like just a hobby to some, it is also a business.
So typically, as your subscribers grow, your views will increase, which will cause you to make more money. There are a lot of people who are very successful, including myself on YouTube, that can be completely stable in life, financially stable, and not have to have another form of income.
Amber says many companies use YouTube channels to reach potential customers for their products and services.
Also with YouTube comes brand deals, sponsorships, which pay you separately outside of YouTube. So there can be multiple streams of income that come with YouTube.
50% of channels on YouTube are earning 6 figures every year, and many of them are operated by young entrepreneurs like Amber. Reporting for UT Today, I'm Faith Howard.
Now, YouTube has over 1 billion users and views per day, making it one of the most visited sites on the internet.
You may see a local TV face around often, especially around the College of Communication and Information. Reporter Aaron Pemberton interviewed reporter and anchor Aaron Wright to see how he balances working at WBIR and lecturing at the University of Tennessee.
Recognize him? You might have seen him on your TV around 10 o'clock. Aaron Wright is a reporter by day for WBIR and an anchor by night.
Both by night.
For Fox 43 News at 10. Though originally on the pre-law track in college, an inspiring professor told him he was choosing the wrong path, which led him to journalism.
Gave journalism a try and fell in love with it. Interned in Knoxville 2 summers and really had a lot of fun, liked spending time with people, telling their stories, getting to meet new people.
Soon after he found his passion, he found the perfect job.
I got a call from WBIR here in Knoxville, and it was just a perfect fit of everything I wanted. It was a great station, #1 in the market. It was in the Southeast, so I was close to home. There's a lot of good things about being here.
But something not many people know about Aaron is besides anchoring and reporting, he has another job.
Context.
On top of his job at Channel 10, Aaron teaches future journalists at the University of Tennessee.
I thought it'd be a good opportunity not only to get to know the campus and get to know kind of how things work here at UT, but to also reach out to young journalists and be able to talk to them about the future and how things have changed in my short time in the industry.
But Aaron isn't your typical lecturer. Since he is currently working in the industry, he offers students a unique perspective. But he says time management is essential to balancing both jobs.
It's absolutely tough because you're still having to stay a day ahead at work at Channel 10 where you have to find stories, analyze your own work there and try and improve every day on that, but also improve in the second job and grade all these papers.
He believes teaching students helps him just as much as it helps them.
This is kind of a reminder of why I got into this business and what I want to become and what I'm working to do. And to see that kind of spark in their eyes when they learn something new and they get to apply it, it's pretty cool.
Aaron says being a lecturer reminds him to apply his teachings in his reporting. Reporting for UT Today, this is Aaron Pemberton.
Aaron Wright teaches media writing here at the university, and he says he loves to pull the curtain back for students to see what local news is really like.
And with students being so far away from home, it can be hard for them to get the proper nutrition that they need here on campus with the dining options.
Rachel Underwood gives a further look at healthy options on campus. Rachel?
Keeping up with classes, extracurricular activities, and jobs often leaves no time for students to maintain a healthy diet. UT is working to make eating healthy more convenient for students.
Eating healthy on a college campus can be difficult for students, especially those with special dietary needs. Graduate nutrition student Chelsea Allison says the University of Tennessee is working to provide healthier eating options and nutrition counseling for students.
Contact UT and say, hey, I'm gluten-free or I'm vegetarian, what can I do to eat a healthy diet, then they definitely work with them. And I think that's a really wonderful thing that we offer here at UT.
One of UT's newest additions to campus is a larger dining facility which focuses on providing more healthy options for students.
With my meal plan, it's easier to eat healthy because that way I'm not spending, my own money, which I don't have a lot of as a college student, to just be throwing around, like on groceries and stuff that I don't eat. So it's just really nice to have a healthy option with my on-campus dining.
Seems fresher. They have a lot of options, and I think students are really looking for that. So like as opposed to going to like the student union or something like that, or another dining hall where they might have stuff you've seen before, I think they've got a lot of unique stuff.
By eating healthy in college, Allison says students are preparing for a healthier life after graduation.
Students in college should maintain a healthy diet, primarily because any kind of behaviors that are set in college, they really will set kind of the rest of their lives. So we know now that if they have healthy lifestyle habits, they'll be healthier as adults as they age.
Stokely Family Dining Hall just recently opened in January and has been a major success among students. Back to you, Beverly and Justin.
Thank you, Rachel. Next in sports, the Volunteers have a new athletic director, but he's not so new to Rocky Top.
And how some UT soccer stars are scoring on and off the field. We'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Jack Keenan has the latest updates in sports this week. Jack?
Beverly, Justin, thank you so much. Legendary coach Philip Fulmer and Chattanooga athletic director David Blackburn were two of the most common names thrown out to be Tennessee's next athletic director. However, the university surprised most fans by going with someone who started in the school's own backyard.
The next athletic director and vice chancellor, John Curry.
Exactly 194 days after former athletic director Dave Hart announced his retirement, the University of Tennessee found his replacement in a familiar face, former Kansas State AD and UT alum John Curry.
I'm really flattered and honored that I get to come back and help finish what I was a small part of help starting 10 or 15 years ago.
Now that he's back on Rocky Top, Curry wasted no time in establishing his priorities for the university.
We should be representing intercollegiate athletics at the highest level and winning championships.
Former UT women's athletic director Joan Cronin says Curry is just the kind of leader the university needs.
John Curry brings to Tennessee a knowledge of the traditions and a knowledge of the history and a passion about what it's all about. And that's what I saw today. I saw high energy level. I saw somebody who's interested in tradition and what we've done, and somebody that's willing to listen and bring all of us together.
Expectations from students have been set high for Curry, with the hope of accomplishing one major goal.
I really just want to see some more W's, see some more wins, and make a run for the title next year for football and basketball the same.
Winning has certainly been a part of Curry's resume, tallying a total of 9 NCAA individual titles and 50 Big 12 titles during his time at Kansas State.
I think everyone, once they see the changes he makes, if they're positive, it's going to have a positive outcome with the attendance and the crowds, and you know everyone's excited about this, and I think it's going to be a good change for us.
For that change to start, Curry knows there's truly no time to waste.
The thing we can't do is we can't stop. We can't ever think we're done. We got to keep going every single day. You know, coaches know that because everybody else is going at it too. Everybody else is getting up at 5:30 in the morning.
And before even officially starting his job as athletic director, Curry is sending a strong message to a couple fellow SEC teams.
I got a couple buddies, right, that have taken over programs that we like to compete with. My boy Greg Byrne in Alabama and Scott Strickland down at Florida, right? And those are two of my closest friends that have taken over down there this year. And I can't wait to beat those guys. That's good.
Now, I think I speak for many fans when I say how exciting those rivalry games will be. Curry will be officially named UT's AD on April 1st, which will also be his birthday. Now, many students have the opportunity here at UT to work in live game productions with the SEC network on campus, but not many people know about it. Reporter Lucas Panzica went down to the studio to get an idea of what they do.
The SEC network was introduced in 2014, and every SEC school has a crew that broadcasts that school's athletic events, whether it's linear on national TV or online on Watch ESPN.
I literally call the shots for all of our SEC games.
Tom Githens is the director of the SEC network broadcasts at UT and is a full-time employee of VFL Films, Tennessee's athletics broadcasting company, which works hand in hand with the SEC network. But what many don't know about these operations is the amount of involvement available to students with the SEC network live game broadcasts.
The best part about it is I get to work alongside and with students, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds, to not just play television, but to actually make television.
And students have the unique opportunity to work in this building while they're in school, but only students that are dedicated to getting valuable experience working on live game production will get the opportunity. The operations are held in the state-of-the-art Ray and Lucy Hand Digital Studio, which was opened in the fall of 2014, and this is where game broadcasts are produced, sometimes right across the street from where a game is happening. The crew is always looking for new students, but not just any volunteers.
I need someone who is going to be there day in and day out, who's dedicated, who truly enjoys learning and being part of the whole process. I would say in a lot of ways we're like a family. And when you make a commitment to this family, it goes a long way.
Now, I can honestly say I'm very jealous of that crew, and they're always looking for new dedicated students and are set to broadcast the rest of Tennessee's home baseball and softball games this season. What most people don't know is that a big part of UT athletics is volunteering. Reporter Claudia Coco went with some athletes to see how athletes are helping local children.
What's your guess? 50?
Lessons about anything from the environment to exercising are an example of what these UT athletes talk about in the program Goals for Girls. Despite the name, the group is not exclusively for girls. Everyone can become involved.
I just think it's a really great opportunity for us as student athletes to do something that benefits our community, that does so much for us and comes out and supports us. So I just think it's nice that we can give back a little bit.
Megan Flynn, a redshirt sophomore on the soccer team, was in charge of the lesson plan this week. The athletes found a way to show the students how to reuse water bottles in a creative way.
Well, my piggy's name is Blue Pig. I named it Blue Pig because everything on it's blue.
Fourth grader Kalia Cox wants to be a soccer player for Tennessee one day, and this is a chance to have some fun with the players she idolizes.
They're fun, they're funny, they're smart, they're kind, they're nice, and that's all.
It is also good for every single person in the room, and you learn a lot. Like today we learned about the environment, right?
For the athletes, I think it's really good. It definitely gives us more perspective. I think that's the most important part, just showing that an hour of our time can make a difference and be important.
The experience that Goals for Girls gives benefits everyone involved. The students get to learn things from their favorite players, and the athletes get a chance to share their experience with others. Reporting for UT Today, Claudia Coco.
That is truly a great story. Goals for Girls has been around for 2 years now. It has been successful in showing the community UT athletes compassion towards others. That's all we have for sports this week. Beverly, Justin, back to you guys.
Thank you, Jack. Coming up, I got the chance to sit down with a former Vol and now star. How Eric Baker says his UT degree led him to the stage and onto the big screen.
Stay with us. You're watching UT Today.
For retirement. Wanting to prepare funds for loved ones in the future? Call Paradigm Wealth Partners today, 251-0808, ParadigmWealthPartners.com. for greater wealth? Concerned about monies for retirement? Wanting to prepare funds for loved ones in the future? Call Paradigm Wealth Partners today, 251-0808, ParadigmWealthPartners.com.
You may have seen him as the television show host of Tennessee Uncharted. What you probably do not know is that he's a graduate from UT. I sat down with Eric Baker himself to find out that this came as a big surprise to him. From performing on world tours to hosting Tennessee Uncharted's television program, this is what Eric Baker has been up to since graduating from the University of Tennessee. Eric tells us that this is not exactly how he thought things were going to turn out.
Well, it's been unexpected, if there was one word, because my degree is in public relations, and in all of that, being a musician and being a television show host and all the things that I've ended up making a career out of, when I graduated from UT, that wasn't actually in the cards and wasn't what I was planning on doing.
Now, although Eric did not go into the field of his degree, he says he's utilizing it every day.
My ability to express myself verbally and writing and whatnot, really, I mean, that time at UT was crucial.
Eric calls Tennessee home, not only because he was born here, but also because this is where both his music and television career started.
It's allowed me to be no more than 5 or 6 hours at a time from my family. It's reconnected me with the boy that I used to be, and it has shown me the man that I want to be.
Living such a creative life as a musician or TV host can be quite the ride, but Eric says this is what he loves about it.
I'm not in the same loop every day, and that's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, I wake up every day just kind of like, man, what are we doing today? What's it going to be?
If there is one thing Eric would tell a student who does not necessarily know what they want to do with their major, it is this.
Not following that path can lead you to something so much greater. And I mean, I am a
Eric tells us he's going to continue his journey as a musician and a TV host right here in Knoxville. Beverly, I tell you, it was really cool to sit down with him and kind of hear that he's taken everything from UT to the stage now.
Well, thank you for joining us here on UT Today. Until the next time, I'm Beverly Banks.
And I'm Justin Crawford. Thanks.